Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival. And so today what we have is some jungle survival gear from BattleBox. So let me see if I can find the card in here. So this is Mission 35, and there is a look at the card. Give you an idea of the prices and all the items that are in it and all that kind of stuff. So I'll just go ahead and get this going. So the first thing we have is a jungle first aid kit, and it's in one of the old kind of like the metal clip sections. Where they used to use it on the old like the Vietnam era H harness and load bearing equipment and stuff like that. And inside the kit, and then, you know, these are actually pretty good containers, and I like the hooks and stuff because they're easier to move, but yet they still don't fall off that easily. But you can get a lot of this stuff pretty cheap at you know, like army surplus stores and stuff like that. Okay, so then we also have inside the kit is all the first aid items, and looks like a pretty decent little kit. We've got some gauze, got some antiseptic wipes, iodine, providone iodine, alcohol prep pad, just the basic kind of first aid stuff, some band-aids, let's see here, got a bar of soap, some sugar for rehydration, some bigger band-aids, you know, some bigger gauze pads and stuff like that, some tape. So that's, you know, not a bad little first aid kit. I mean, it's not a super comprehensive thing, but it's definitely a good start. And the good thing about it is that the bag that it came in is, okay, if I can get this closed up here. This container gives you plenty of extra room to put additional items in it. So, you know, it's not a bad little setup there at all. And I mean, they're only saying the value of it's $7, but I mean, that's pretty cool. Okay, the next one is the Sniper Veil. So this is pretty cool. And it's just a mesh, you know, piece of mesh that's about, I don't know, 2 foot by 3 foot or something like that. And, you know, you kind of use that as a piece of camouflage, kind of hang over your face or whatever to break up your outline and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. And, you know, it's multi-use item too. You could use it for a food cache, you know, you could use it for a lot of the same items that you could use a shamag for. So that's kind of neat. All right, the next one is Rothko Army Insect Repellent. Let's see here. All right, so just a basic can of insect repellent, and this is, let's see here, it's got a little bit of a leak in it. That's not great. 30% DEET, so that's cool. Insect repellent. All right, next one is a StanSport mosquito head net. So just your basic mosquito head net. It's got elastic on the bottom of it. Just throw it up overhead. Again, it's a jungle survival theme, and the insects in jungle areas can get pretty nasty. And actually, you know, the insects can get nasty in non-jungle areas too. The worst I've ever experienced mosquitoes was in northern Washington State when I was doing some training up there in the springtime, and it was so bad that you were literally breathing them in. I mean, it was nasty, and we didn't get to have any of those, and it would have been nice to be able to have that. So not a bad piece of gear, and you know, it just packs up into such a tiny little thing, and you can just throw it in any pocket or whatever, and you know, so that's cool. Okay, the next one, this is a kind of an interesting throwback. is the Army-style GI angle head flashlight, 2 D cells. And let me go grab some D cell batteries. I've got some because I'm just kind of curious as to how bright it is. But the cool thing is they've changed this to be an LED instead of the old incandescent bulbs. So that's kind of neat. Feels just kind of like your standard old angle head flashlight. But, you know, it's fairly bright. I mean, I'd say if I had to guess, it's probably like 100 lumens or something like that, you know. Just kind of an area light. It's not really super, you know, tight or anything like that, but it does also come just like the old ones used to. Come with the different lenses. So you've got a blue, a red, a green, and an amber that you can throw on there. So that's kind of cool. I mean, light technology's come so far that nowadays that this is almost kind of just a novelty, you know. I mean, because you know, other types of lights like Olight and, you know, these other kind of things are just so much more superior in size and construction and all that kind of stuff. But kind of a cool little thing, you know, just to have around, I guess. Leave it, you know, sitting on a window shelf or something like that, just for a quick to grab, easy flashlight. Okay, the next one is the advanced box. That was all for the basic. And the advanced box is the Box Jungle Hammock with Mosquito Net. Now, I am not going to set this up because I don't think I have 2 trees that are even close to the right distance on the whole property. I'll look. If I do, I'll insert some video, but let's go ahead and pull it out and take a look at it and see. So this is pretty cool. It's got the straps with it to hang it. And that's actually kind of cool that it comes with that, because that's kind of always one of the hassles is getting it properly attached to the trees. So that's good. Then we've got a bunch of cordage in there, and it looks like the bag is built in. Okay, and then it's got the carabiners already on there, so all you got to do is hook it to those straps. That's pretty cool. And then it's got the zipper so that, you know, you've got the mosquito netting on the top half that you can cover yourself, and you can zip in and zip out. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's actually a pretty good setup for those people who are, you know, into hammocking, because that's usually one of the worst parts about, you know, camping with a hammock is the mosquitoes and the bugs and stuff that'll land on your face and whatnot. If you have a way like this little mesh to keep them out, then it's going to make using a hammock a lot more enjoyable, I think. That's one of the reasons I prefer tents, is because of the insects and stuff, you know. It keeps them out better. So anyway, yeah, that looks like a pretty good hammock setup. I mean, it's definitely, you know, a strong nylon material. You know, I mean, yeah, I think that's all right. Pretty cool. And I guess these are, I'm not sure if these are for guy lines or what they are. That's going to be my guess, is that they're probably guy lines for holding the mosquito netting up off of your face, and, you know, all that kind of thing. So, okay. And wow, and the cool thing about this box is this is a box where we actually get 2 different knives. And the first one is a cold steel kukri. I already have another one of these knives. It's not bad. It is the shape of a kukri, but it's not the thickness of a kukri. Made in South Africa. Good design overall, and you know, they do have pretty decent, it comes fairly sharp. They do have pretty decent chopping power. These thinner ones are nothing like the original kukri, so I'm hesitant to put them in the exact same category, because the original kukris really, I mean, they're about a 1/4 inch thick, and they really have a lot more heft. But this is still pretty solid. I mean, it's a long, you know, blade, and I can barely get it to bend. So, you know, it's got quite a bit of strength to it. it'll work great for doing split wood fires. It'll work great for, you know, just chopping branches and delimbing trees and those kinds of things. And the actual sheath on these is really better than the original kukri sheaths, if you ask me, because it actually has some retention. The original kukri sheaths, if you turn them upside down or anything like that, you know, it's going to fall out. With these, they're in there, it's snapped in, and it's not going to come out. It's just your basic belt loop, but it's actually a pretty effective, you know, sheath. So that's pretty cool. All right. So that's all for the advanced box. For the pro box, we have the BattleTac snake gaiters and brush guards. Now this is actually all right. I mean, if you live in an area, or if you're going to be in an area with a lot of snakes, if you're going to a swampy kind of area or something like that, and you want to have, you know, some protection, or if you're in a desert area where there may be a lot of rattlers or something, these are actually pretty cool. I mean, I have not ever worn snake gaiters because I just never really spent a lot of time in places where there's a ton of snakes, but you can feel that these are pretty hard, and they're definitely going to repel, you know, snake bites and stuff like that. It's definitely going to help. I doubt that they're going to be able to probably puncture through this stuff, but it basically is a whole, you know, thing that wraps around your leg, and then it has these buckles, you know, to go around it, and you just wear them. They don't really weigh a whole lot. They're not super heavy or anything like that, and they'll offer you some protection. So if you're in an area where there's a lot of snakes, you know, or if you're going to go there, then that's pretty cool. You could probably wear these for wintertime gaiters. Well, they don't attach them to the bottom. They may not work the best for that, but anytime you're in heavy brush or anything like that, it wouldn't hurt. Okay, and let's see here. The last thing is the knife of the month, and it is the Ontario knife, the Aircrew Survival Knife, ASEK, but basically it's the old Aircrew Survival Knife with some new touches on it. I'm super familiar with this knife. I have done, well, with the original anyway. I have done a review on it. You guys could check that out if you're curious about my thoughts on it. There's some new changes to this one though, and that is that the teeth are a little more aggressive on the back. And this saw is not actually designed for cutting wood. It's actually designed for cutting metal, sheet metal, aluminum sheet metal specifically. But then it also has a little bit of a kind of a serrated edge on there. Not sure if you can see that or not. And then we got a little bit of a straight edge, and then it's got kind of a false back here. But the serrated part, that's new, and then the teeth seem to be more aggressive to me. We've also got a rubberized handle on here, and then they've added kind of a little bit of a point on the pommel for like smashing glass or whatever the case may be. And it's a really comfortable knife. I wish that they would, it's a very safe knife because it's got the full, you know, handguard here. I wish they would take the top one off. If they would leave the bottom one on and take the top one off, then it would be much more usable for carving and doing different things and stuff like that. But nevertheless, these knives take a bunch of abuse, man. I mean, they're not a full tang. They're kind of like a partial tang that comes through the center. But I've seen, I don't know, maybe I've seen 3 or 4 of them, 5 of them break or something like that in the time that I spent at the survival school when I was there. But that's out of, you know, several hundred, you know, knives that I had seen, you know, with students. So they take abuse, and I mean, I've seen them to where they're like bent like a like a banana, you know, and they're still in service. So they're pretty tough. They're not the best and most perfect survival knife, don't get me wrong. But as far as like a general utility knife that's going to be pretty tough for you, they're pretty good. You've also got the little sharpening stone, stuff like that in there. And then just the basic leather sheath that they've kind of always come with. So pretty cool knife, and you know, anytime you get 2 knives in one box, that's always kind of a good thing, you know. So not a bad kit this month. You know, as I always say with BattleBox, I think that there are 2 kinds of people that should seriously consider the BattleBox if you are looking to get a subscription box. Number 1 is people who are have extra money and they like getting the surprise. They're gonna spend money on gear anyway. They have it as you know, extra income, and they're just gear whores that like to amass gear, you know. And there's a lot of us out there like that, a lot of preppers especially. And then the other kind of people are people who are you know, wanting to get the particular items that are in the box. BattleBox allow you to go back and buy these boxes after they've been shipped, and you pay a little bit more for them, but you can still get some pretty good deals on the stuff that they offer just by going back. Like, let's say if you lived in Florida or something like that and you wanted this kind of a setup, then you could go back and buy just this box. You don't have to do the month by month. So, you know, I think that's a pretty cool option as well. So anyway, guys, I would love to know what you think they should have put in this box. What did they miss on this month? I think it's pretty good. I think the only thing that I could see, you know, and maybe it would have been kind of neat if they had maybe thrown in a fire starter or something like that. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. You got a little bit of first aid and medical, the insect repellent, a little bit of lighting, some shelter, you know, kind of cool. So anyway, guys, as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.